there's a disconnect with the younger people. And I think the biggest problem with the boomers, if that's the question, it's the holding on and the hoarding of power, and that there's not been a good enough job done of passing power on. I mean, we don't even have Gen X here, right? They aren't even represented. So we've skipped right over them. Now the millennials are waiting for our turn. It's almost like Gen X never got the turn. It's almost like the boomers that got into office in the 60s are still there, still running.
Yeah, the boomers done held up like 2 generations of power, and they've refused to give power over because, well, let's be real, they don't trust us. They don't trust us with this country. They feel like they know best, even though they've done everything to undermine us and destroy this country. Like, bro, they're like literally the most conceited group of people when you really think about it. Like, how conceited can you be when you've done everything to almost ruin the chances of affordability for next generation and still think that your ideology should be propagated, should still be pushed? Like, how conceited can you fucking be? But all right, let's get it going.
Things and haven't actually like cultivated that younger generation to replace them and to pick up the reins. And so that causes resentment in the younger generation, which is of course returned, I think, from the boomers because they feel it and spit it right back. So yeah, it seems like the boomer mentality that I hear a lot that gets on people's nerves is, you guys should have seen this place when we got here. It was a paradise, you know?
I would echo the access and the influence that Harrison is talking about, where I think millennials feel like they're kind of getting cut out of the deal. And what I would use the current example of what's happening on the right wing right now. If you want to use a specific example, if you talk about any war, but in this case, the Iran war, the younger generations are done. They are anti-war. They vote against wars. This has been proven in multiple election cycles. And it feels like, here's the millennials. We just put this administration in the White House. We put Republicans in charge of Congress. And it's like, okay, we did that. And then what do we get? We get right back to the same boomer foreign policies. We get right back to the same boomer policies. And now we're sitting here saying, well, wait a second. We're the ones that got this administration in power. Why aren't we getting represented? And I feel like it's different when you say that to maybe a 20-year-old and you say, hey, you're still young, you have experience. We're in our 30s now. We've come of age now. We are about to inherit this country now. And we feel like with every election cycle, our what we're inheriting is getting less and less. The civilization is declining. And we're simply saying, hey, we've come of age. This is what we voted for, and we're not getting it. And so I think that that's the generational divide.
All right, same question for the boomers. What about the millennial generation is problematic for the success of the conservative movement going forward?
Well, I think that the biggest problem is that too many millennials and younger generation alleged conservatives have adopted the rhetoric and much of the views of the left. And so there's an expectation on the part of younger people that they're going to arrive at the top where their parents left them when they kicked them out of the nest. And to those who think that this is not a meritocracy, that boomers are hoarding onto power and all of that kind of stuff, that's a classic leftist trope. And so, in my view,
I'm sorry, but as soon as somebody used the word trope, just know that's propaganda. Just know that's straight up propaganda. Like, bro, a trope is pretty much just saying like, hey guys, because like, all right, guys, let's say me and you are chilling. And I know this is going to sound fucked up, but let's just say I stole something from you. And as soon as you try to address me about it, it's like, hold on, bro. Hey, that's a trope. Black people stealing is a trope. You can't address me about it. We can't address it. We can't talk about it. But bro, I'm be rude. We got you on camera. Yeah, but black people stealing is a trope. Don't talk to me. You fucking racist. Like, that's when people use trope, guys, that's literally a word used to manipulate you. Like, that's crazy. But no, dog, it's not a trope to sit there and just be like, yeah, I'll be real with you. The way you guys are running things wasn't in our best interest. Now, how did he say that? He kind of made it sound like, oh, well, you're just mad at your parents for doing this, that, and the third. It's like, I got to hear that one again.
Perceive that boomers are hoarding onto power and all of that kind of stuff. That's a classic leftist trope.
No, I'm sorry, but like, bro, you think we're dumb? So Trump, wouldn't you consider Trump as a boomer? Yep, Trump's a boomer. Biden, boomer. These are our last 2 presidents that were boomer. Barack Obama wasn't a boomer. I believe he was like Gen X, so that's one. I mean, what was it? George Bush. I think he was also Gen X or a boomer. I know his dad for sure was a boomer. Bill Clinton for sure was a boomer. So what are you guys talking about? No, you guys has held most of the power. Most presidents were boomers. Like current presidents of today in the last like 10 to 20 years were boomers. What are you talking about? We probably had like one or two presidents, actually two presidents outside of that generation.
And so, in my view, the biggest problem that millennials and younger people present to the movement is this demand for access. And my question to them, or my challenge to them, is do what I did, go out and take it.
It's a funny question because I think over all time,
Okay.
the younger people have always felt that the older people.
Now, I'm gonna be real with you. I agree with that. No, do what they did. Go out and take it. Go out. But here's the thing, though, bro. While y'all went out and take it, you didn't have to deal with a flooded job market that you guys promoted. You didn't have to deal with a whole bunch of constant wars that you guys promoted. So all this, go out there and go get it, bro. You didn't do to y'all policy. You didn't put a whole lot of distractions, a whole lot of barriers up in front of us that we're still gonna climb over. We're gonna clear it. Don't worry. This ain't excuses I'm not giving y'all excuse to not do it. No, do exactly what he's saying. But understand that their generation has put up multiple barriers so that we can't do so. And then also, your generation is also gatekeeping the conservative movement and the Democratic movement. So let's not, well, actually, you know what? Actually, I got to give the Democrats that one. No, they're not. The Democrats actually let their younger generation speak up. It's a conservative movement that low key like tie us up, put tape over us and throw us in the basement.
Over all time, the younger people have always felt that the older people had something that they didn't have access to, and the older people think that the young
cheaper housing, a better cost of living, a workforce that wasn't flooded with immigrants. Like, what are you talking about? Oh no, that's the problem with you boomers. It's obvious. It's so obvious that the generation that you guys grew up in was way better than ours. You had a way better standard of living, cheaper cost of living, and you want to sit there and pretend like that's not true? Like, you always want to pretend like the old people had something that you didn't, because you did, and it's obvious. And I think it's asinine for you to sit here in front of younger people and act like you don't. Sorry, we can go back and look at the numbers. Actually, when we do the inflation calculator, bro, that's proof enough that shit's fucked up compared to your times to ours.
Younger people have greater expectations than maybe they should have. I think the whole notion of a gap between generations, this is so not new. That it's having an effect on the current political climate is particularly interesting. But having been a teacher and seeing a lot of millennials, I think there's so much that's being broken deliberately for you all coming through. I don't know that I would call it the affordability problem or whatever, but I think expectations have been given to you that aren't necessarily fair.
Time.
Well, so much more to
But
say.
we have a lot more. We have a lot more time.
Now, I'm pretty sure everybody on the millennial side, Loki wanted her to shut the hell up. Like, lady, do you hear yourself? This is that low-key gaslighting that we're talking about. Like, we could go sit here and compare the numbers. Our dollar's worth less, the cost of living is up, gas is worth more, housing is definitely almost out of reach. When housing was almost, housing was so cheap, you guys could afford 2-3 houses. Y'all motherfuckers had starter homes. That's how easy it was to get a fucking house back then. You had a starter home, bro. What? Starter? Nigga, we could barely get in the door.
Frank, go ahead.
These are, of course, sweeping generalizations, but the question is teed up that way. My biggest concern is that the millennial generation has embraced the idea that the world is irrelevant. It's about us. It's about the sharing of power, distribution of it, controlling it.
Gaslighting.
My fear is, as was mentioned, you are about to inherit a very messy world.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not with us in trying to make it more consistent with our vital security, interests and freedoms, it's not going to be recoverable, I fear. And that's what makes
No, if we keep following y'all ideology, it won't be recoverable. The only reason you guys are preaching this because you still want your social security at the end of this bullshit. So you're not really speaking in the interest of us. You're speaking in us to still be our wage slave is until y'all death. And then we're just supposed to worry about everything after that. Like once you guys are gone, you guys have sure that you drain all the wealth you can from us until y'all death, and then you'll give us the power. Then you'll turn things over. So in hopes that we'll do the next thing, that we'll do the same to the next generation. And God, I hope we don't.
I'm most worried about the next generation's handoff here.
The America First side of the political spectrum has taken a much firmer stance on H-1B visas compared to the Trump administration. Many of them want to send all H-1B workers back to their home country and terminate the program, while the Trump administration is expanding it. Let's take a look. The graphic on the screen shows the disparity in income between the wages of American citizens and the wages of H-1B.
And this is why I say, bro, I always get mad at Dems when they sit there and say, well, whoa, they're better though. No, they're not. They're not better than us. They're cheaper than us. Computer.